All right, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke, and the channel is called Mr. Shredder. So we're back for our daily review of the stock market. Top 5 biggest movers of the day. I hope you all are having a great day or had a great day. It's fairly late here in Cincinnati. It's already 11 o'clock, but had a busy evening. So I hope you all did well on the market today. Let's jump right into it. I want to try to get these videos a little bit shorter, but as usual, I'm not a professional certified financial advisor or planner or investor. So everything you're going to see in this video is for entertainment purposes only. If you do find it in any way interesting or appealing, a thumbs up would make a huge difference to me in helping my channel grow, as well as getting a subscribe below if you like this type of content moving forward into the future. I'll do this every day, hopefully. And maybe you pick up on something good. That's kind of the goal for me, is to help people out and to learn about the stock market myself. So again, we'll jump into it. I give myself about 10 minutes to review the stock market for the day, to look at specifically the 5 biggest movers. So that is what we will do. Typically, the day after I review the 5 biggest movers, so for example, on Tuesday, I would go back and I would look at Monday's top 5 biggest movers, and I would talk about how they did the following day. I did not get to do that yesterday. I ran out of time, so we will start with that today. So on Monday of this week, the biggest mover was called Marathon Patent Group. They specifically mine cryptocurrency. And on Monday, they were up 89%. They closed that day at $3.83. And as of now, they're at $4.20. So they have continued to go up since Monday. With the talks of cryptos on the rise, I'm actually going to add this to my watch list. I wasn't super big on it on Monday, and I didn't add it to my watch list, but I honestly think that this is one to look at. Now, of course, if you're not a fan of cryptos, then this is definitely not going to be something for you. I think a lot of investors, like Buffett, for example, is going to be a guy who actually buys into things that produce other things. So buying into cryptos, which is just an alternate form of currency, is probably not something a traditional investor would consider. But if you're like me and you just really want to try to figure out different ways to make money on the market, and this is a stock that's going to go up, then it's something to look at. Cryptos are definitely sticking around, I would say. Bitcoin got popular a few years back, and it's definitely lower than it was back in 2018, but it's definitely still high. It's like $10,000 per Bitcoin. So as and if cryptos become more popular, a company like MARA, or Marathon Patent Group, should go up significantly. So the second biggest mover from Monday was called Grind Rod Shipping. They closed Monday at $3.88. They are currently at $3.58, so they've dropped a little bit. The third biggest mover from Monday was called Moxian Inc. They're a Chinese tech company, and they closed Monday at $1.34, and they're currently at $1.19, so they have continued to drop. Euro Dry Limited, a maritime transport company, just like Grind Rod was the fourth biggest mover. They closed Monday at $5.65. They are currently at $5 per share, so they have dropped. The fifth and final biggest mover from Monday was called DataC Inc. They do smart security solutions like facial recognition. They inked a deal over in China, which is why their stock price went up. And they closed Monday at $3.05, and they are back to $2.52. So going backwards. So everything that went up Monday, except for Marathon Patent Group, has slid backwards since Monday's close. So now we'll jump into Tuesday's 5 biggest movers as well, and we'll zip through those really quick to see how they did since yesterday. So the first biggest mover, Alterity Therapeutics, was closed at $3.06 on Tuesday and are currently at $2.91, so they've gone backwards. The second biggest mover from yesterday was Silversun Technologies. They closed yesterday at $5.88, currently at $5.21. Third biggest mover from yesterday, Syntex Technologies. They closed yesterday at $2.85. They are down to $2.53. Whiting Petroleum is next. They closed yesterday at $1.33 and are currently at $1.11. And fifth and final mover from yesterday was a company called Universal Security Instruments. They closed at $3.34 and they are up to $3.82. So they have gone up since yesterday's close. So to recap, of the 10 biggest movers, so 5 from Monday, 5 from Tuesday, only 2 of them are still up since they closed after their big move. The other 8 have dropped back down. All right, we'll jump into today. Again, I hope you all had a great day on the market. It was an interesting day. Overall, the Dow was up 373 points for a 1.39% move, which means we are 3 consecutive days of positive movement for the Dow, putting us at about 2.75% up for the week so far, which is excellent news. Doesn't mean we all made money, but generally speaking, the market was up, so that's a good thing. So we'll get into these. The 5 biggest movers for today, so Wednesday, were Biofrontera AG, Myos Rens Technology Inc., Light in the Box Holding Company, Willis Lease Finance Corporation, and Arc Document Solutions. So Biofrontera AG is a company that makes dermatology products. They specifically have a therapy for non-melanoma skin cancer as one of their main products. I did not see any substantial news for them today that would have helped them go up 378%. It's a huge jump with no news. I am not sure why it went up. I wish I had an answer for you all, but it started the day at $6.71 per share, closed the day at $26.88, or $26.80, I'm sorry. Since close, it is down 14% to about 23. They are a company that has a negative earnings per share, and their 5-year high before today was July of last year. So I don't know, my advice for this company is keep an eye on it. I just cannot suggest investing in a stock that is in the negative with no significant news that would tell me why it jumped so much. So keep an eye on it. That's what I'll be doing. So I'll add that to my watch list as well. The second biggest mover for the day was Myos Rens Technology Inc. They're an advanced nutrition company. So their main product is a nutritional supplement that helps build lean muscle. They were up 48% today. They opened the day at, $268 and closed the day at $1.84. I know that seems weird. Like you're like, Luke, that's a negative day for them. And technically it was a negative day for them. The reason they were up so much from close yesterday, which they closed at $1.24 and they closed today at $1.84, was because they released their earnings report in the aftermarket yesterday. So when the market opened today, they had already increased up to 268 and then kind of dipped back down throughout the day today. But since the market closed, they're down another 4%. Basically, their earnings report said that their revenues increased and their expenses decreased. With that said, they are still a company that has a negative earnings per share, but at least they're making progress in the right direction. So good sign, maybe a company to keep an eye on in the long term, but for the short term, still a negative type company. Their 5-year high was in February of 2017, and that was $3.85 per share. So if you're the type of person that believes a stock can return to its previous high, this stock still has about 100% growth to be able to do that. So potential opportunity there. The third big mover for today was called Light in the Box International. They are Light in the Box Holding Company. They're an international online retail company. So I think this one's interesting. This is absolutely one that I'll add to my watch list. I know StockTwits has a lot of very bad information on it, I guess is the best way to say it. With that said, on StockTwits, there was quite a few people thinking that Light in the Box had a really solid chance of being a stock that grows to $55 per share. And the reason being is because there's a lot of other online retailers that are doing well right now. And that's what Light in the Box is. It's an international online retail company. So you can go on there and buy clothes, for example. No substantial news today, but other online retailers have been killing it since COVID started because people are home, people are ordering things online. If you look at Wayfair, for example, since March, I think I mentioned them yesterday maybe, they were, I think, around $12 or $13 per share. They closed today, I think, around $300 per share. And there are a whole handful of other online retailers that are right now during COVID. So if you compare Light in the Box, which does have a positive earnings per share, with other retailers, and you kind of project out what they could become or try to put a value on them based on what other companies are worth. For example, StockTwits was thinking that with a $55 share price, Light in the Box would be worth $5 to $6 billion, which relative to other online retailers like Alibaba, for example, which is worth almost $800 billion, it's just a drop in the bucket. So very feasible. If you believe in all that hype, it could be one to watch long term. I'm definitely going to add it. It was up 44% today. It's flat in the aftermarket, and its 5-year high was 415 back in December. So this is one that definitely intrigues me. The fourth biggest mover today was called Willis, Lease Finance Corp. They basically lease aircraft engines, and auxiliary power units to airlines and businesses. They were up 37% today. They started the day at roughly $20 per share. They ended the day at $28 per share. They are flat in the aftermarket, and the reason for their big move was that they had an earnings report and they maintained profitability in the second quarter of 2020 despite COVID happening. So they were expecting potential losses and they maintained profitability, I think about $8 million before taxes of profitability. They're a company that has a positive earnings per share. That's always a good sign. They were as high as $74 per share just this last September of 2019, so 11 months ago. I think this is one that I'll add to my watch list as well. And honestly, this is the first day that I've been doing this that I feel like I'm adding companies to my watch list. I think this is episode number 6 or 7. I think episode 7. And this is the most I've added to my watch list from one day. But the reason I'm adding them to my watch list is that they've had a steadily increasing revenue over the last 4 years. Yahoo Finance has them as undervalued. They were as high as $74 per share less than a year ago, and they maintained profitability despite COVID happening. As the airline sector comes back, I suppose I would think that this company would show even more improved signs of profitability. If they can be profitable during COVID in the airline industry or aircraft industry, I think that's a great sign. So I'm adding them to my watch list. The fifth mover from today was called Arc Document Solutions. They're a company that does document solutions. They do scanning, printing, specifically centered around architecture and construction industry. There are some other industries that they do as well, and they're sort of branching out into mobile or like computer-based or phone-based documents that you can do on the go as well. They were up 37% today. They started the day at $1.11 and closed the day at $1.44, down about 5% in the aftermarket. Penny stock basically. The reason they were up is that they exceeded earnings estimates in the second quarter of 2020. So much like the last company we talked about. They are a company that has a positive earnings per share, so that's a great sign. Their 5-year high is $6.90 per share, and that was in August of 2015. Since then, they have been on a fairly steady decline in terms of share price. So over the last 5 years, it's literally just been a downhill over time. Their revenue has slightly decreased over the last 4 years. Their revenue but their earnings has moved from the negative to the positive, although 2019 was not as good of a year as 2018. So until this company starts to show an upward pattern consistently, I would say that ARK would not be something that I'm going to be looking out for. Overall, my active portfolio was down 0.5%, and that was specifically on the back of Workhorse and Solo. I am putting my money where my mouth is, and I cashed out of Virgin Galactic today. When I say cash out, I really should say I cut losses today on Virgin Galactic. I took a 20% loss. The reason for that big loss, in my opinion, was that their earnings report was slightly disappointing, and then they were supposed to launch the owner of the company into space, and they pushed that back to next year. So I don't see anything in the next few months that would make me think there's going to be a big jump in the stock price on Virgin Galactic. I am looking for things that are going to make me money now. So I sold out of that. I took a loss, 20%, so not a small loss. But for me, I felt like the opportunity with Workhorse was one that I could try to jump on now. Their earnings call is coming up on the 10th. They still have a looming deal with the U.S. Postal Service. They have a 10% ownership in Lordstown Motors. Because of Lordstown going public, Workhorse spiked about 20% a few days ago. I still think it's going to go up double or triple in the next month to 2 months is my prediction. So again, not telling you to go buy it, but I bought it for those reasons. The other one that I'm in on and holding tight on that I lost on today is Solo, which is a electric vehicle stock. They have an earnings report tomorrow, so Thursday, August 6th. It's in the after hours, so it should not affect the price tomorrow unless people buy in or sell off in anticipation of either good earnings or bad earnings. But I am holding tight on Solo, hoping for a big day. I got in at about $3.50 per share. So right now they're about, I think, $3.20 per share. I am hoping for at least $4.50 to $5 per share, and then cashing out and rolling that into something new and something different. So let me know in the comments section below how you guys did on the market today. If I missed anything that you think is a really good stock to look at, please also let me know that. And otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like button helps me out tremendously. And if you feel it in your heart to hit subscribe, definitely do that too.